Have you ever wondered why God just don't sit down and have a real conversation with you about the whole plan that he had for your life? Well, if you haven't, I have for sure. What are you doing? Let me know. Lay it out. We're going to talk about that today. Johnson, and this is Isaiah Movement. I want to thank you for watching. Real quick, I want to thank everybody for all the support. I want to thank everybody that have subscribed already. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button so you can know when I'm putting up a new video. We actually reached 50 subscribers last week. Might not seem like a big deal to you. That is a huge deal to me. I just really started this thing just to see where the Lord would take it, and it's just amazing what he's doing so far, and I'm just enjoying it. So one of the things that I've noticed, a problem I've noticed in myself and other people, is that we expect God and we want God to tell us the whole plan from the get-go. I found myself asking God many times, like, yo, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want? Like, not the next step. Everything. Like, what do you want in general? Like, what is this whole big plan that you got for me? And yet, he never tells me. All he do is always just tell me the next step that he want me to take. And, of course, I take the next step, but it gets frustrating, and you get so, I don't want to say angry, but you get so worked up because you're like, yo, just tell me everything so I can just run with it. And if I can run with it, I can do it and just get it all done. But instead, the Lord likes to start us off by giving us a highlight of where he wants us to go. And then he starts giving us little nuggets to lead us along the path. And it's difficult. It's just difficult. But there's a couple of reasons why he do it. One, he does it because if he tells us everything, it's no longer a faith walk. And we are no longer going through a struggle to change our life, to make us more Christ-like. Two, if he told us the whole thing, and of course we do the whole thing, like he said that we was going to do, we no longer think it's him. We now think it is us doing it. So there are reasons why God lead us slowly along this path. A third reason is, if we knew the struggle and the stress that was going to come with it, we would be like, no thank you, you can keep that, I'm going to hang out over here. But God knows that if he leads us along and every day strengthening us more and more every day, that new problem that comes along actually won't look as big of a problem as if we was at the beginning of the path. But of course, there are different kind of problems that do come up. For example, when God actually do show up and tell us, hey, I got something for you to do. A lot of people, they automatically go, I can't do that. My past is too great. It's too horrible. My past is too bad. But yet God goes, I didn't ask you about your past. I'm just asking you to make this step. But then again, there's people who be like, I can't bear that weight, right? Or I can't make that jump. Oh, God would say, I didn't ask you if you can do it. I just asked you to trust me and actually make this step. Now, there are some results that God wants to get from this, and he do get from this, and this is why he do it this way. The first result is, we talked about this in a few other videos, sanctification in our life, making us more Christ-like. As we go through the journey, the faith walk, we are struggling with this walk. And as we are struggling to do this walk, we actually have to change in order to go to the next step, which means we are being sanctified. We are becoming more Christ-like. Every time we become more Christ-like, we are able to make the next step in that journey. That is the number one reason. Again, we talked about that in some of the other videos. I didn't want to go into too much detail, but I did. So, the second thing is, he reveals himself to us more. So, when David was out in the field, protecting his sheep, God, he didn't run when like bears and the lions came to try to take over his sheep. He trusted God, and he actually fought those bears and lions, and God used that as an opportunity to reveal his strength to David of how I can use you to defend your flock. So step 3 is the Lord reveals me to me. So when David's father sent him to give his brothers some food, he sent them out, go give your brothers some food and some stuff. When David got there and he seen what was going on with Goliath, David was not afraid to step up and fight against Goliath because God already revealed himself to him in the step 2. God reveals himself to us. So David knew that he had the ability and the strength of the Lord and the strength of the Lord to fight against Goliath and kill Goliath. As David was on his journey, God revealed to himself the strength that he had that he can give David to defend his flock. And David, by doing that, knew how he had the ability to use God's strength to defend his flock, his people. And David did that same thing, fighting against Goliath, defending the flock of God. So let's look at it another way. We have Abraham. And I like to say, if Abraham would have never raised his hand against his promise if Abraham never made that first step of faith to leave his family. What do I mean by that? Well, if Abraham didn't leave his family, make that step of faith when God told him to leave his family, if Abraham didn't leave his family, he wouldn't have had the ability to go out there and make mistakes. Yes, I said it. If Abraham never stepped out on God, he wouldn't have been able to make mistakes. And in those mistakes that Abraham made, God used those mistakes to teach Abraham something. But he just didn't use the mistakes. He also used the good deeds of Abraham to teach him stuff. So what do I mean by this? 2 times Abraham lied about Sarah being his sister. Maybe it was a white lie, but it's a lie. It was still a lie. So both those times, Abraham put himself in a position where he could have been killed for lying to the 2 rulers that he lied to. Now, here's the thing. Here's the problem. Abraham lied to try to protect himself because he was afraid of them killing him because Sarah was so beautiful. So he lied. But by lying, he put himself at risk to be killed. But yet God protected him, and God used those 2 mistakes that he made as a chance to give him blessings, as a chance to upgrade his life. Both times Abraham walked away from those situations with more than he entered that situation. Both times God showed him, listen, even if you make a mistake, I am still going to be here to provide for you. There was a time when Abraham had to go to war to save Lot. Abraham grabbed his workers and went to war to save his nephew Lot. And he won. God showing him, hey, you're doing a good deed here still, but I'm still here to provide for you. I am still your provider. I still will take care of you. I am your strength. Then we go to the promise itself when, God promised that he was going to have Isaac. So he finally had Isaac. That right there is an amazing astonishment that God did for him. Showing that, hey, your wife was barren, you're in old age, but yet still I provided for you. 4 different occasions where God showed Abraham, I provide. I take care of you. So when God told Abraham to go and sacrifice Isaac, his son, as a test, Abraham and Isaac was walking up the mountain, and Isaac asked, where is the offering? And what did Abraham say? The Lord will provide. Now, did he say that to get Isaac up the mountain? No. He said that because on time after time after time, I have learned that the Lord will provide. He was speaking it out, saying the Lord will provide. I don't know how he's going to provide, but I know he will provide for us in this situation. And what happened? The Lord, when he raised his hand to take out his promise, the Lord provided an offering for him. So in that journey that God took Abraham on, he revealed himself to him, and then he revealed Abraham to Abraham. Because if Abraham didn't go through the journey, we wouldn't have known that Abraham was a great man of faith, believing God to the very end. Abraham had to go through that journey in order to live out his purpose to that full. Now that you know that there is a reasoning, a method to what feels like madness, you have to remember, we have to remember, not to get discouraged in our hard times. Because in the end, we still come on top. We just have to fight through it and surrender our will to God's. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Until the next one.